Welcome to the Backlash at Backlash.com. My name is Rod Van Mecklin, and in this video I'm going to read excerpts from my 1992 article, American Association of University Women, The Feminist Agenda, 1992, Bellevue, Washington. We're here to inform you how we're going to help girls, she snapped. Are you opposed to helping girls? This transpired just prior to an American Association of University Women, or AAUW, roundtable at North Seattle Community College. It was there I discovered that where education is concerned, feminists have only one objective, making the system work for women. If men suffer as a result, too bad. At the close of 1991, the AAUW released the now thoroughly discredited conclusions of their study, Shortchanging Girls, Shortchanging America, proving the female-dominated public school system is failing to provide an adequate education for girls. In the March 10, 1992 Seattle Times, Dr. Cecile Andrews, Director of Continuing Education at North Seattle Community College and Executive Director of the local chapter of the AAUW, announced they would be meeting to discuss this and invited the public to attend. Now, for years, I've worried about our public school system, even back then. Who hasn't? It's not working. Still isn't. It needs to be fixed. So when I read about the AAUW's report, I wanted to know more. Not just simply from an anti-feminist point of view, but to find out what they had to say. I don't doubt girls are poorly served by our public school system, and I want to see them get a good education. But boys need help too. So I was eager to participate in this round table. According to my Random House College dictionary, I might still have that, a round table is an adjective noting or pertaining to a conference, discussion, or deliberation in which each participant has equal status. I like that. It agrees with my personal philosophy. Unfortunately, the author of the aforementioned article misrepresented her true intentions. Equality is not on the AAUW's agenda. Here's what happened at this round table. A friend was already discussing his point of view on education with one of the women when I arrived, so I sat nearby and listened while examining some of the material placed on the tables for us to read. As they talked, I noticed how this woman seemed less concerned about how public education is not working for either gender than with making it work better only for girls. So when they were done, I asked her, "Isn't it true more boys drop out of high school than girls?" She said yes. "Isn't it true more women earn Bachelor of Arts and Master's degrees than men?" "Yes," she replied. "So doesn't it seem the public school system oppresses boys more than it does girls?" At that point, she came over to where I was sitting, glared down at me, and grated that it wasn't on their agenda to discuss this, that the agenda called for them to inform us how they were going to help girls. Then she demanded to know if I was opposed to helping girls. Schools should help girls. This seems obvious to me. But she had already admitted the system is even worse for boys. Her attitude indicated that as long as they helped girls, she really didn't care what happened to the boys. With these thoughts in mind, I quietly answered, and I stress that I was answering quietly. I worked very hard to convey a sense of calm. As I said, I cannot support a program that continues the oppression of boys. "You're disrupting the class," she snapped. Class? The round table wasn't scheduled to start for another 15 minutes, and only a few others were there. "I'm going to get security," she said. "You're attacking me," I said. "She's attacking me," I said to a friend. "Why are you attacking me?" I asked. With that, she stormed out of the room. I commented on her sexist attitude to my friend, and some of the women standing over by the door chuckled gleefully. "It's called separatism," one said, referring to the man-hating feminist clique dedicated to the construction of a separate women's society, culture, and economy. That was the description that Mark Hunter gave in his book, Passions of Men. Good book, by the way. Shortly, the campus security chief entered and told my friend and I to follow him. Now, the campus security guy, my impression of him was that he was a decent fella. I didn't want to cause any trouble. But when we got to his office, he told us that she might allow us, Dr. Andrews might allow us back into... Oh, and by the way, he told us, once we were there, that the woman who had attacked me was Dr. Cecile Andrews herself, and that she said we were disrupting her class. My friend gave his word of honor he was not there to disrupt the class, and asked what was needed for us to be allowed back in. The security chief said that she might allow us back into the class if we promised to sit quietly and keep our mouths shut. So he took us back to ask if we might stay. Again, my friend gave his word of honor he would not disrupt the class. When did it stop being a round table? At that point, I asked if women would be allowed to speak and ask questions, but not men. She answered yes. That would be discrimination, I pointed out, and again asked why she had attacked me. In response, she ordered the security chief to force me to leave. If I attempted to stay, she would have him call the police. Confronted with the prospect of staring down the barrels of police pistols for the crime of asking questions before the round table even began, I left. The facts cry out for a solution, a program to help all children, but their anti-male bias prohibited admitting this. Like all fanatics, they, I'm speaking here of the AAUW and feminists, require a devil, someone to blame for the emptiness they feel in their own lives, someone to hate, fear, and vilify in their search for meaning. That's not a direct quote, but I lifted that out of the pages of Eric Hoffer's book, The True Believer. And if you haven't read it, I strongly recommend it. It explains so much, not just about feminism, but about all mass movements. And it's an easy, quick read. It's a thin little book. But I think that I was giving Dr. Cecile Andrews too much credit when I wrote this article. I don't think that she was a feminist fanatic. I don't think she was a true believer. And if she's still alive today, I doubt that she very much is a feminist ideologue. I think that she was a totalitarian thug who saw this as a path to power, and I believe that most of the people who are involved in the AAUW think the same way, and I think that most of the people who run the National Organization for Women think the same way. They are pragmatic, and they are totalitarian thugs who have one goal: to get power. Man is the feminist devil. All men are the devil's minions. Anything illuminating men in other than this unholy light exposes their belief as bigotry. Like all supremacists, they have but one response to what violates their carefully constructed conceit: violence. The same holds true for totalitarian thugs. Consequently, if they hurt boys and young men in the process of making public education work for women, well, that's just too bad. The full article's linked below. That's all for now. Check out the other videos. Subscribe to the channel. For the Backlash at Backlash.com, my name is Rod Van Mechelen.